Bill Stevens, Pole Place, Edison. I'd like to, need to start working out with Sal, I think. I decided walking up here tonight. Real quickly, I wanted to talk about, we had a meeting on May 21st of the Edison Community Association, and a group of our members wanted to take and have a community meeting on a transit village over by the Edison train station. So we had that meeting, and I personally invited Mr. Golden to that meeting so that we would take and have both sides of it. But quite frankly, the thrust of the meeting was against high-density housing. It certainly wasn't against developing at the Edison train station. It certainly wasn't against putting parking in there that we thought we had 4 years ago or 2 years ago. It was our concern about the amount of housing that they wanted to put in there. During this meeting, a couple of issues come up. Quite honestly, a gentleman went a little berserk, and I think he needs some mental help, but that's just a personal feeling. And it's a shame because he seemed to be much in favor of this project, and if he would have stayed and had an honest conversation with us, maybe we could have all learned why he thinks adding 2,000 or better additional cars to that area is going to help a traffic situation that's already intolerable. Now, we understand that we need more parking. There's no doubt. I came before this council for literally 3-4 years to get neighborhood parking in my neighborhood because of all of the people taking the train were parking in front of our houses, and we no longer could park in front of our own houses during the week. So I understand the need to get that traffic off the street. We would all like to see Kilmer Road cleaned up. We don't understand why the post office has 25 trucks parked out there every day and why there's 200 cars parked there or 100 cars parked there every day. It'd be great to clean that up. However, we cannot handle any more residential, and I don't know whether you can take and deed restrict somebody to say pedestrian traffic only if you buy one of these condos, that you're not allowed to own an automobile. I've never heard of such a thing, and I don't think anybody marketing that project would ever even think of implementing such a condition. The other area is COA, and tonight there was a little conversation about COA, and we went through it at the meeting in terms of what the guidelines were, what the income brackets were to qualify you for COA, and we're certainly not against low-income housing. As a matter of fact, I think Edison is about to get more low-income housing than it knows what to do with. I mean, if we look at the information given to us by the administration a couple of weeks ago, we're talking about 1,000 units, and that excludes Ford, it excludes Walmart, it excludes Revlon, which are all going to take and push more, and it excludes the train station, which even if it has no residence element to it, still is going to produce low-income housing. Whether the numbers are as they're trying to do now, or everybody's successful in getting them raised substantially so that it's more palatable to all the communities. The fact is that there is going to be a lot of the need for a lot of low-income housing to be designed and developed and built in Edison Township over the next couple of years, whether this development is built or not. So this development has, other than driving that number much higher, right now this development really doesn't have anything that much to do with low-income housing. I would like to take this opportunity. We're supposed to have our next meeting on the 18th of June. I would like to take this opportunity, one, to let everybody know that we can't have it on the 18th because there's a graduation. And both of our high schools graduate from the RAC at the same evening, so an awful lot of our residents are going to be over at in Piscataway that night. It still seems funny to me to say that we're going to Piscataway to see our kids graduate from school, but nevertheless we're going over to Piscataway to see kids graduate. So we're going to change that meeting, but I would truly like to invite each and every one of these council members to attend our next meeting and give you the opportunity not to ambush you, not to take and beat you up or anything like that, but simply to give everybody an opportunity in a neutral site to state your positions on development and what you think is positive about it and what you think is negative about it. I think it's important. We're also going to invite back Mr. Golden again, because we feel that many of the meetings that he had, and I attended many of his meetings, were orchestrated where you really weren't allowed to get into, you were given options before what type of facade you wanted to put on the building or what have you like that, and you really couldn't get into like what other options could you put there. I certainly have no problem with an office building being put there. I'm not sure about the hotel. I'm not sure about anything that makes it a destination, but I do know I'd love to see parking there to get all of the parking off the street for the train station. I certainly, living right there, I wouldn't mind seeing Starbucks and a couple of small shops being put down there. That would be beneficial, or a couple nice restaurants. What a change for Edison to have more than 2 nice restaurants. I mean, that would be an upgrade. So there's an opportunity to do a lot there. Again, the position of the Edison Community Association and those who really work very hard to set up that meeting in terms of designing handouts and walking their neighborhoods and inviting their neighbors to come to the meeting. I'd like to thank each and every one of them who did that. But the whole purpose that we're about in terms of this development is the high-density housing. And the fact that any revenue coming to the township might be used to build infrastructure to support that high-density housing is just unacceptable. So I hope everybody understands that, and I'll try to get a hold of my neighbor to see if I can get him some help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.